I'm Adrienne Mitchell. American workers are a lot more productive than we were just a couple of years ago. Sageworks says profit per employee so far this year is 52% higher than in 2009. I talked with CEO Brian Hamilton.
Profit per employee has been going up significantly, actually not just over the last year, but over the last 10 years. It's astounding if you look at the data. In 2001, for example, the profit per employee for privately held companies was about $10,000. And up through 2011, it's risen to $15,000. So the companies are obviously becoming much more efficient.
Well, when you look at these cold, dry numbers, you think, oh, okay, great, productivity is up. But when you think about what this means, productivity means, in many cases, fewer people working harder. Can we keep this up?
Well, it's interesting. I would say it's attributable to two things. First of all, I think you're right. Generally, if you look over the last 50 or 60 years, people are working harder. It's not just a decade-long trend, but it's a mega trend that's lasted a long time. But I think you also have to realize, you have to consider that there's technology tools that are available. We're working more efficiently, and automation has made it much more easier for companies to be efficient. So, it looks like it's a long trend, and it's definitely continuing.
We are hearing from some employees that, with the unemployment rate so high, around 9%,
right,
that people just don't want to leave a job, even if they are feeling a little squeezed. Is that the sense that you get from your research?
From our research, yes, I think it's true. There's a lot of insecurity just generally everywhere. There's no doubt about it. But, there is a light at the end of the tunnel because that specific piece of data, if we dwell on it too much, we might lose the big picture. It is true that profit per employee is going up, but it's also true that sales obviously have been very rocky for the last couple of years. So it's not like these 27 million companies are rolling in dough or rolling in cash and not investing it. Their profit dollars have remained constant. So here's the big picture. As the sales of these companies continue to go up and as these companies continue to be more profitable, they will hire people. It's just when. That's the question. And the jury's still out on that. So, for example, over the last year, privately held company revenue has increased about 5 to 6% over the last year, but they're not hiring people. My view, or our view, and it really has been basically validated by all the data that we've gathered over the last 10 years, is that as sales go up, companies will be forced to hire people because, you can only do so much with so, much resource. So that will happen.
Back with Sageworks CEO Brian Hamilton. He says the economy now reminds him of a time when leisure suits were cool.
I thought we would have been out of the woods about 6 months ago or a year ago. I thought companies would start hiring people, as they saw their sales and profits start to rise. But, everyone's so nervous. It's not just the employees, it's the employers. People are just tentative. It reminds me a lot. I'm dating myself a little bit, but it reminds me of the late 70s, during that disco age where, that time of period that was referred to as the malaise period where things were just flat. So people are concerned, and everybody feels like things are just not going to get better. So until that market momentum really starts to build, what's going to happen is companies, may not be as willing to hire people, and employees don't feel as good about their jobs. They're not going out and spending as much money. So there's just this flatness going on, and I'm just hoping that it'll end.
So at least for the meantime, those of us who do have jobs are boosting those profit per employee numbers that you were telling us about. Could this conceivably be a tool in the arsenal of an employed person who maybe wants to ask his boss for a raise because someone can say, hey, look, you're making more money, and it's because I'm making proportionately more of it for you?
Yeah, Adrienne, this is an excellent question, and that's why I just want to make sure that I'm very clear on the data implications. The profit per employee is going up, which means the companies are more efficient. It doesn't necessarily mean that their profit dollars are going up. So we got to be a little bit careful. For example, over the last couple of years, private company sales have gone down, even though it's starting to come back up a little bit. But the dollars have gone down. So even though the companies are more efficient, it doesn't mean that they have tons of cash. So we got to be a little bit careful on that. However, However, your question is an excellent one. I would say this. If you're a good employee and you're doing work and you're hitting deadlines or you're doing whatever you're supposed to do, I think it does give you a little bit of leverage to possibly ask for a raise. But, that's so conditional because there's so many factors that go into that.
Brian Hamilton is the CEO of Sageworks. And that's it for Money, Markets, and More. I'm Adrienne Mitchell. Thanks for listening.